Snow. Silly churl, Billy churl, silly Billy, hilly churl. Woo!
Direct assault!
One with nature.
You're open! Welcome to Mondstadt.
Mondstadt welcomes you.
Gather!
Gotcha! Into the wind! Quietly now.
Stabilize! Solidified!
Busted!
Ad Astra ab. Thank you for complete.
You'll find no second-rate arms and wings. Mondstadt welcomes you.
Sorry, but...
Were you always...
Yes, after the cheat, so the missing girl couldn't have left. I doubt.
How can you be...
Well, I couldn't see Linny's, but still, we Melazines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
So, it's safe to say the girl couldn't have left through here. Alright, thank you for your help. This'll be useful info. checked everything of note here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Linny's discussion with the guards is going. Let's go see, shall we? Ooh, things are getting interesting, huh? We're about to see how magic is made.
Speaking of that,
I can see that. Maybe I should try to learn some magic.
You need not worry about such.
Oh.
Understood. Then I will be going with you.
Just very good.
You may spare the blood.
You've arrived. Who's this? Me? And these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Well, let's...
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here? I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Weren't there balloons and other decorations here? Where did all that go?
Ah, good eye.
The back?
Very good indeed. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put two and two together...
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The two magic box. See this the box with the...
This trolley can raise...
I see.
Precisely.
So that's how...
Once the box was the audience member would only be able to feel...
Right! You were
Ah, yes. My assistant and I had...
And what about...
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the...
Oh,
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's...
I mean, we are... And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can
so that's how it all works!
Lynette would brief, and then but as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience.
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been... And yet, to think... Could we have a look around?
This is the scene of the crime. So Linny and Lynette are not...
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into...
Thanks, everyone.
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh?
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick.
Whatever it is.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which...
Oh! Paimon knows! And here's a broken Let's note this down
Oh, these are the her clothes are here.
Right! Ugh. What is this place?
It seems someone could fit.
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull another person with them, this space would be too...
But there are no other ways in. Oh, you're right! Let Paimon write the... Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes, let's head back up. Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns.
Apologies for the wait.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal...
They believe the guards have...
So the tunnel's become like a
In other words, the...
charges?
That's right. This is how a trial... That's right. This is how the statements from both... To put it simply,
This also precludes any kind...
once both sides have finished, then, finally...
Huh? So
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment. Which is... yes, the guards are...
Huh? Why?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That...
They're concerned that we... And even if that were not...
I'm ready to break out.
Whoa!
Of course. I just hope...
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. I mean, what better...
Huh? Breaking out, so... Just kidding! Paimon was...
What do you mean? No...
Huh?
Understood, mademoiselle. Everyone, please come...
Wait, you're carrying a...
Yes, I must be prepared.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the...
Good work.
These three are quite the... And Paimon thought it smelled good from the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around. Paimon thought you'd have... But you ended up doing the entire...
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging...
Paimon was just thinking. Aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty, beating egg whites and baking like this?
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. Don't underestimate beating. Anyway, give these a try.
Only...
Well,
Tea is ready to be served as... No need for it.
all right then. However, we can... The magician twins could have...
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right whenever...
The flower vase and the thud, resulting in the shattering. Perhaps the criminal thought that since...
Paimon thinks that make...
True. But... The...
Huh. Could Halsey have...
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Nor does she have any motive. The guards said that she has never had any dealings with the Magic Troop's members.
Were we not thorough enough in our search? From the sound of things, you're macaron... What?
Please don't worry about it. At my...
No! Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate... Wait! Even you don't believe Paimon? If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her
All right, we get it. Malus, set up the stove again if...
Huh? What?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Exactly! We don't want to...
As you wish, Demo...
And I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
Well, this...
Well, that's it for snack time. I don't know what we're looking for. It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage.
Alright, thanks for your help, and for...
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
Alright, it's time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial. Oh, it's probably gonna be a long and difficult case. There's no point in worrying about that now.
But where are those?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119
Crumble! The wind knows me.
What do we do? The whole situation is so confusing. Good plan. Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands. Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened than we do.
Thanks, Navia. Well, we'll be going then.
Best of luck to you.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well, now, don't you all look disappointed? Don't tell me that that was to be expected of, but don't let that stop you. I shall be terrible.
Since both parties are firstly, in order...
Yes, of course.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have
Yes, that's correct.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution.
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's...
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud.
I was right by the box and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye. Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid. Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't...
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Hey, Linny, why didn't you tell us this before?
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true? Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary?
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad!
I'm very sorry. I know you've clashed with, but our organization...
Right now, we want to save...
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identity, that's why I didn't... The truth is very important, but be... Right. So, you met a Fatus, but still...
Sorry.
Well, you both say it right. Let's hear your answer first, and no lies, Ned.
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the During our investigations, we learned that from that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick, with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Well, nothing. As soon as I what should have been impossible, that voice seemed to wreck on the way back. After that...
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the...
Because of that prophecy I told...
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But, like I said earlier, you can be the judge.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Okay.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly if we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, huh? Hope!
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue...
That at this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective. As the countdown began, when the flatbed trolley passed, he did not realize that the sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that. So Linney proceeded to knock. Afterward, Linney passed the unconscious. And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady...
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events. Seems this won't... According to Lynn... Linny went to... Linny didn't...
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon had when the countdown started, but he immediately used... Once he reached that area, he heard a voice. The crime scene! Finally, he... Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that!
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right! If that's the case, then assuming that what you say...
Oh.
That's... well, you... Of course... You're saying that he wasn't.
We don't need to give this more thought. Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought? That's right! This means that the same clue you...
To think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it? The deceased's name is Cowell. Linny's... Halsey is the missing person. The deceased's name is Cowell. Could there have been a third? The deceased's name is Cowell.
That can't be right.
Oh! What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim. No one
one entered or left the opera house through its entrance. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. The deceased's name is Cowell. Linny was not in the tunnel. It would have been tough for both people. Linny was not in the tunnel at that. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. The sound we heard may have... It would have been tough for both people to fit into... No one entered or left... Linny was not in the tunnel. No one entered or... It would have been tough for both...
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you...
Look, since we're at a dead end, just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial...
If only we knew how...
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel... It's not like this is a magic...
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Linny was not in the tunnel. The sound we heard may... The deceased's name is... No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. The vase was not broken.
Paimon gets it! Lynette escaped. If there's a similar...
How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic... Must we really? Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirect...
Even so, I trust the Traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we... Since Cal was the deceased, but given that we aren't making much...
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I...
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe... Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the...
We are still examining the item. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within the notebook in his bag.
The primordial...
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears. One of these tubes was... The notes also state, as such, we believe...
You've got to be kidding!
Could something so ridiculous...
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but...
If people can become water, does that mean that they'll... Just a minute. Could that mean...
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order! It is undeniable. Still, let us assume... Guards. Mr. Linney, it appears...
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water...
The deceased's name is Cowell. The deceased's name is Cowell. Now it seems like the hook rope. The water from the primordial... Lynette was in the magic... The rope that strung the water tank up. I remember there was...
In the original plan, Cowl would tip when the magic box containing Halsey was lowered. The metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, afterward, Bart he encountered.
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing...
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused?
Now, it seems like the only point of his notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could...
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case. And we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial...
What?
That can't be. Does this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience. Linny did not need, having made modifications that, upon his return, ultimately, he knocked Cowl out. Now, as much as I regret having... Am I right?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here. Is this the end of the
Oh no! Seems using the water...
I think we've all seen enough now. And we have ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning. I believe this is indeed the finale. Now then, my good, noble... excuse me...
Miss, I must ask you not to shout, and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linny, if you would be so kind.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Linny and Lynette. Give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangement, but as the magic makers and stars of the show...
I understand.
And voila.
Sorry.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl. I admit it.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's name's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that that's how I make a living. I steal, but I was noticed at—
Hey! No wonder you look for— Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty—
Well, and I thought he even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede, so I played along. I wasn't going to take that lying down. There was nowhere to run from it. I slipped out after the first—
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, I didn't know— Had I known that,
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now.
This time, we... The flower vase... Lillian... The strange...
And it's— Having been selected, her panic only hearing the commotion, he did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in but mistakenly believed the two broke the with no way of escaping. She knew that she would have to go—
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macaroni.
At this point, all the events that happened in the—
so that—
Bravo!
Now then, Lady for— Please answer the—
What? Are you reading my mind now? No, I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow! Look at that! She's like a deflated balloon now!
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, with some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious. Lillian, according to her own statements. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the Opera House, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in—
Hooray, Linny and Lynette!
While there is much in Linny and Lily, this case at least can be As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared—
Victory for Ace Detective!
Great work, Part. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think— How did you find the—
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know!
I suspect that the I'm sure you know what you must do to—
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself—
We were supposed to place blame.
And now that your plan has... Therefore, you would be...
Yes, our boss. It can also be made into a... We've been in this business...
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness.
An outrageous. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
So, we're just going back now? That's...
Traveler, Paimon! Please wait.
Lenny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end, I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set... I didn't approach you with any... As for why I'm a... That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
That's right. And since we're here, back when our parents first died to survive, I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner. And to my surprise, before long, and...
So you went from orphans to...
That was how we felt at first, but he would constantly take...
That doesn't seem too bad
After one particular performance at a banquet, I waited along... The answer he gave...
Oh no.
As far as outsiders are concerned, I managed to fare... All I saw was...
So...
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans. Father, the House of the Hearth, well, I was hesitant to trust, but she was also quick.
Oh, so that's how...
She has gained permission.
So, she believes...
That's right. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve. All of us house members here, Lady Arlecchino herself included, are to us orphans the only
So, from
It's alright. I understand. The only thing I can do is I just hope you can understand if you should need anything at all in the future.
Bye, Lenny!
Windstrider!
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, and given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the...
Ah, I see. Sorry.
Don't say that now.
Aw, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new... Wait, shall we...
Huh?
Well, Anyway, it would just be a meal.
You don't have to...
Oh, wonderful.
All right, then.
I came here several times with my father when I was little. But...
Oh, don't worry! We haven't eaten at a hotel.
In that case...
Ooh, everything looks so good!
Why, of course! Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good...
And if it's...
Well,
You, sure have your own way of Oh, we called this a...
Oh, true.
Huh? Paimon didn't mean that you had to... Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind...
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward.
If it hadn't happened right...
Right? Yet it was because... In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability, it's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against, which is exactly why the Spina di Rosu, those highfalutin folk... It's alright. Let's talk about something else. Like,
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, I've heard that there's a long line of people...
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine.
Well...
Guess that's Spina...
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to...
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
All right, here's another. I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can find...
That might...
Valid point. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations.
You mean that if we catch her up, why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know...
Huh? Paimon...
was...
No, it's fine.
Alright. Honest...
Is that so? If we're all finished eating...
Yeah. Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore. Nah, that would be so...
Okay.
Hey, Navia! What are you...
Oh, nothing. So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your requests the highest priority. In any case,
see ya! people.
Vache.
Looks like we're back here. Huh? Traveler?
Vache?
Hey! What? Huh? Hey! Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Vache! Are you... my dear Vache? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. My memories feel like they have... How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear? Yes, that is what I was once. I do not know how I came to be like this. No matter where I went, but now... No! The thought of me gives him no... If you meet Vache, perhaps that is so. If only I could have comforted him. Is that what you call it? It was a state of need. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first... I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think. Farewell, then. I am glad that you were able to sense my presence. Remember, if you see Vache, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
Look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex. Chlorand?
Quick, now's our chance!